Achievement unlocked. 2 players and a podcast now loading.
Welcome back, Dreamers and Flam family. This is 2 Peas and a Pod, brought to you by GeneralAndrews and
Flibbityflam.
And we are sponsored by the 8-Bit Dojo and ESN, where we aim to be selfless, not selfish. This is episode 10 of season 2. Follow for follow, lurk for lurk, and support for support. Does it work? All right. Well, Flib, let me guess here. Let me guess that your thought on, this for that, you are 100% down.
Man.
Right?
Absolutely. No, I can't even fake it.
I was waiting for, I was like, dude, he's doing good here.
I was ready to let's just fake. Nope, can't. It hurts too much.
All right. So for those of you that don't know out there, follow for follow, lurk for lurk, support. These ideals that we're going to start, just beating the shit out of, have some good to them. But the idea is you are bartering, right? You're trading something for something.
Yeah. Most of the time it's time.
Yeah, right. Time for time. Cool. That should be even. That should be good. This should be fair. There's not some monetary discrepancy. Cool, right? It doesn't work out that well, right? It doesn't work that way, as they say.
Yeah.
So now the most common one I would assume people have heard about nowadays. Follow for follow?
Follow for follow.
Right. So that one I'm sure really quickly we could kind of kibosh on how it works and how it really doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you feel when you hear that term? Forget the other ones. When you hear follow for follow, what comes to your mind right now?
Comes to my mind, man, it's just utter crap.
Okay.
It's like, sure, I may show up on your following list now, and I get another tick on my followers, but what does that really do? That doesn't get you in the door more. That doesn't get you to come to my streams more. No, it just puts me on a list for you to ignore even further now.
But I felt that fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, so you're telling me that's not it?
No, yeah. Mm-mm.
So you're saying fake it till you make it does not work. Follow for follow does not work.
No.
Okay, so I'm actually going to play a little devil's advocate here.
Oh, go for it.
All right. So fake it till you make it does work, but a lot of people are applying it incorrectly.
Yes.
Follow for follow does not work because a lot of people are using this for their fake it to make it strategy.
Yeah,
right?
And it's not really the ideals of what fake it to make it is, really.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to quickly, just before we jump into the fake it to make it side of things, the follow for follow idea is that you are following somebody. By following someone, they're going to follow you back. By you following each other, that's going to continue to grow because you're going to keep dealing with more and more people. Your numbers are going to keep going up, right? And more people are going to see you now, right? Even though they followed you, that's a real quick one-time easy thing. Right?
Yeah.
Like the button. That looks cool. I followed them. Oh, look, they're following me. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. That's real easy. Your content, though, depending on how often and what platforms you're dedicated to, that's a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes a want to be involved with that. Oh, shoot. You just follow 1,000 people? Are you going to now look at all their stuff?
Yeah. Are you gonna be interactive with 1,000 different communities?
Right? And then in theory you're gonna grow. So can you do it for 10,000 now? Just you and still stream and still sing and still whatever else you do?
Yeah.
So all right, let's say that you're like, oh, I've got a better strategy than that. And we're thinking, okay, you got a better strategy. What the fuck is this guy?
What is he going to say?
All right. What is your better strategy? So I'm going to keep on following people. They're going to follow me back. I'm going to keep following people. And you know what I'm going to eventually do? I'm going to eventually purge my list. So I'm going to have this huge following number and a very small amount of people that I follow. And that's going to give me, that's how you do it.
Damn.
Wow.
Brilliant. No.
Yeah, that's
boom.
Damn, that guy just brought us to another level of just
big brained
my mind. Yeah, my mind's expanding right now. Like there's not enough room in my cranium.
Yeah.
So obviously, why is that a terrible idea? Because you were obviously using people for your self gain. That come on, do I have to really explain that?
You're setting yourself up for failure down the road too.
Yeah. Very few people are going to actually not have a conscience at one point in time that finally comes into play. Might be 10, 20, 30 years delayed, but it's going to happen, and then you're going to hate yourself.
Yeah.
Why in God's green earth? Well, okay, it's not as green as we want it to be still. Why on God's green earth are you going to set yourself up to hate yourself?
Yeah, man.
Hate
just
yourself.
Straight up. Like, how do you
Fuck
look
survival
at
that point. Mm-hmm. You self-hating is going to now you're going to now start to break away from your survival like instincts and things that you're supposed to be doing, right? You know, the normal eating your food or getting enough sleep or all those different types of things are going to start going to the wayside because you hate yourself. And now whatever path you choose into self-wallow with that, is that worth it, right? So with that being said, Flib, it's like I'm looking now here back going into what you also really quickly jumped into is the correct use of fake it to make it.
Yeah.
So tell me, when you now said that to me, I wanted to say it to you more, right? But you said, what are you feeling about that? What you said there is still some good. I definitely think there's some good. At first you said there was bad, but now you're saying good. Why? Tell me.
Like especially like working in the service industry for so many years, like over a decade. Like that was a phrase that my mom used with me all the time, and that's where I learned all of my customer service stuff.
And she's good.
She's very good.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, she is
very good.
So there's a reason why you want to invest in her knowledge base is because it showed success.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Okay, so fake it till you make it. Keep going.
So it's like always like doing service with a smile, like.
That's what I was thinking. I was waiting for you to say. I was like, he's gonna say it.
He's gonna say it. It's the biggest phrase. Yeah. It's like one of the biggest phrases that my mom would always tell me. It's like you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar.
Yeah, good. Honey tastes good.
It does. Yeah.
Vinegar sucks. So
vinegar does suck, but that's just what I've always applied on my stream, like. Because I do some pretty difficult stuff, especially going into the Kaizos and everything like that.
Yeah, dude, totally.
And I'm like, and people are like, how can you sit? Like, I would have thrown my controller through the window by now. And I'm just like, that's why I'm doing it and not you.
Correct. And, you know, my feeling from fake it till you make it, where it's being applied inappropriately, is that you might be lacking confidence because you've seen no traction because you're new at content creation, whatever it is, YouTube, Twitch, something else, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. But your fake it to make it is in your confidence in yourself.
Yes.
You are faking to yourself that you are making it so you can provide a good show, an entertaining piece, a valuable piece for somebody else to consume, to spend their time, you know, taking in, right? Just like in the follow people that are not consuming your stuff because, again, it was just a quick click and it's like, yeah, right? Versus people wanting to consume your content. So you start out, you're like, man, like, am I good at this or not yet? You know, and in time you'll learn, and people are saying, hey, I really like what you're doing. You're like, oh my God, I'm good at this thing. Yeah.
Perfect.
You know, like, and now you feel that confidence to go with it. So that's where I feel the fake it to make it strategy is good if you are using it to help bolster your self-confidence until you really do have self-confidence to dominate your passion, your belief in what the heck you're doing.
Exactly.
All right. So we talked about fall for follow. We got a few more other
things. Let's dissect this a little further.
Lurk for lurk.
Lurk for lurk.
This is going to be odd to a lot of people who don't use a streaming service. No, not Netflix, not Hulu, not, but they should be paying for that time on air. Anyways, none of those things are the ones I'm talking about streaming services that a quote unquote normal human being is now going to put on a show from their own personal studio.
Yeah.
Right? From their own personal studio, they are going to put on a show. That type of streaming where you can now also communicate with. Lurking is a terminology used for someone who is there in the audience, but they don't want to chat. They're treating it like a movie theater or a TV show.
It's a TV show. Yeah.
No surprise there. I mean, okay, I know for a lot of times in my life and as a kid growing up, even to now, there's times where I'll just yell at the TV.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. What was that shit? Fuck you, Madeline. I cannot believe that you do that to that guy. He liked you so much.
He loved you.
And he loved you. I can't believe I said like. I'm so distraught. I am. Oh my God. So you're yelling at your television, right? But then you're ready to chill back out and you're done. Same idea there. A lot of people will say, they start saying they want to say it. Hi, how are you? You exchange what happened for your day. It feels really nice. And then you're like, hey, I'm going to lurk because you want to kick back and watch the show because the other part of the content is really what the person is doing to create a show. And so lurk for lurk sounds good because now why would that matter? The viewership number goes up if there's people watching the channel, even if they're not chatting.
Exactly, yeah.
So, you are, again, you're bartering internet service data for internet service data by watching and I'm totally okay with that mentality for my friends and my close people that when I had the time available to sit down,
that you already believe in their content.
Thank you.
Right?
Not somebody random that, hey, I just met you. Lurk for me, I'll lurk for you. No.
Yeah.
That's weird, dude. Like and what I'm gonna track, the amount of lurking you're doing for me versus no. If I'm watching my friend, I don't care if they dedicated watching my channel on this, let's say, lurk mode, where maybe they walked away from their computer. Now, how can you tell? You never know.
You never know.
Someone's gotta pee at some point, okay?
Yeah.
And so they're going, and that all that energy is happening, and you're just like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do with myself? And bring me back in. My brain just froze.
I was about to say, I was like, wow, he's really on a roll, and then it was like, oh, there's the wall. We found it. But it's just one of those things that, like, people are like, oh, lurk for me and then I'll lurk for you, and I'm like, again, it doesn't bring new people in, and it also just gives you sort of like a static number, which isn't bad per se, but at the same time, like, if you're not interacting with people's communities, at least on a very, very small basis, you're not going to get what you really want out of it.
Thank you. So the bartering of this time or whatever space is in the idea that it's going to grow your numbers, just like we talked about earlier, fall for follow. In artificially inflating your numbers.
Correct.
And when we say artificially, it's because that person has no investment in your content. And as a person who creates content, it matters that people care about consuming your content.
Yes.
And you can something like, well, yeah, you just got a really big ego and you're just trying to no. Like that's what you're selling. Your content, the consumption of your content is what you sell. Just like someone who works in a bakery, they're selling you baked goods. Is it their fault that you came to a bakery to buy baked goods and that's the person that's selling you baked goods? No.
Yeah.
I'm making content for people to consume. Thank you right now for everyone listening. Making content for people to consume so that they consume it.
Exactly.
And that's the type of that's what's actually the real traction that you were talking about, right? The real
real interactions and
what matters, right? Like, because like the numbers just going up don't matter if it's not actually if it's just this arbitrary number.
Yeah.
Like, so what if I have 1,000 people watching if those 1,000 people don't really exist?
Yeah, exactly.
So, right now, I'm not trying to get too existential or anything weird like that. I'm talking about just like the fact that, let's say, not even talking about view botting. I'm talking about simply that, let's say you had some sponsorship that automatically threw you on a page. Or Now, granted, if you have a sponsorship, people are watching you more than likely, right? People want to consume your content. They're not taking the risk on you unless people are going to consume your content, therefore consume any ads or whatever they're trying to sponsor for.
Exactly.
Right. But the idea that, let's say, 1,000 are just there that don't really exist, that doesn't have more people come in. You're now stuck at a stagnant 1,000 and nothing's happening.
Exactly. You plateaued yourself
Yeah,
again.
you're a 0 that's at a 1,000 just happenstance wise.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So bringing it back down to those that are still trying to understand this whole lurking for lurking thing. Again, it's a bartering that is I find it very weird because I love doing it for my friends. Right. I love being able to give back somehow. Some people I'm sleeping during their show.
Yes.
Right. But you know what? I'm gonna put it on. I might watch the first half an hour. I'm gonna go to bed. So what? I'm leaving you on. I might listen to you while I fall asleep.
Yeah.
Love it.
Same. Because I'm a huge lurker. Just lurker.
Yeah.
Like, because I'll just sit there and I'll watch and I'll consume. Like, I won't always talk, but like, I'm always watching, which is what I like to tell people.
Yes, correct. No, you do know what was going on for a lot of those shows that people are putting on because you're there watching it. You know, you enjoy it. Because it takes energy to also interact, which a lot of times, why did you consume someone's content? So you could be hands off. Right?
Exactly. So I can just chill to your content.
I can chill finally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, but looking for random people, that's the issue again. That's this artificial inflation of people that don't want to probably consume your content, which means it's going to fall off in due time because why would they want to stay loyal to you?
Yeah. As soon as they see you fall off, it's like then they're gonna fall off, and then you're back to where you started.
So it's just a slippery slope of nonsense.
It is
what I feel. Because if I'm saying like I don't even need to say lurk for my friends. You know what I mean? Like that when it comes to my friends, I don't even call it lurk for lurk because like we just want to do that. And maybe we need at one point in time we had to discuss it because we were learning how do the algorithms work for this type of platform or right? As you try to understand how do you make an impact, how do you create traction on something? Okay, cool. You learn what lurking is. You learn those terminologies because obviously that's a part of the culture. You want to know the terms. But I don't consider it this lurk for lurk because I just want to consume their content. I want them to do well. Right. Yeah. I'm not trading with 25 other random people like, hey man, so you got to be on there for you. Cool.
Hey, you got this. All right, let's both dance. I like this.
I like it a lot. It's like, nah, get out of here.
Yeah.
So
move along.
It's very classless because people don't even try to get to know you. It's a very robot, almost it feels like a robot's asking you, hey, da 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 da. It's like,
it does, yeah. You might as well be those bots that come in and be like, hey, you want to be famous?
Hey, you want to be famous? Make sure to click here and buy 1,000 followers. It's like, why am I? Okay, whatever. Yeah. So now, obviously, talking about friends. Now, support for support.
Ooh.
Now, this, depending on how you take it, obviously, we kind of place it in the very similar lines or veins of follow for follow, lurk for lurk. But I feel that this one isn't a bad scenario. This is one of those ones where it's what does your time mean to you? And this is something I know you've valued highly lately, and almost coming to like a resurgence in your thought process for it.
Dude, it's a very zen time for me. Finally getting my time back and utilizing it better.
So support for support.
Yeah. That can mean a lot of different things.
It can mean a lot of different things. So realistically, I don't really think like the people that I want to support, I don't think about it in support for support, right?
Yeah.
How I think about it is, do I want to invest my time into their content? Okay, cool. I like their content. Wow. They also have a really cool community with it. I'm going to invest more time because these are people that I want to be around.
Yes.
Now, there's other people who have really good content and I never want to be around their community.
Yeah.
Yes, there are some of you out there in this world that make amazing content, and I will never, ever, ever, ever want to be a part of your community. I'm glad you're successful. Good for you.
Fantastic.
But I don't ever want to be in it because it's a cesspool of just nastiness. Once in a while, that has a redeeming moment or a funny moment, but they're not enough. They are nowhere near enough to make up for the, terribleness that it really turns into.
Exactly.
Very group think like.
Yeah.
And oh good, I could be one of the cool guys for once. Yeah, fuck them. Yeah, fuck them.
Exactly. Yeah, you see
some 5 head. Got him.
You see some of those like And it's just like those huge communities, like 1,000 plus. You're like, oh, like I like your content, but like your community is ass. it's just a bunch of trolls that shit post, like, and it's all shit posts. It's
all shit posting, and then you'll see that one random person that is probably like you, and they finally said, "Hey, C45, it's good to see you on again today," and then just get completely steamrolled though.
Yeah,
and you're like,
exactly.
no, oh my poor little bunny.
Exactly. Oh, look at this pussy.
That's what they would say.
Chat, yeah.
Right. Like you didn't come in automatically cursing out the streamer, so they know you're not normally here. And so now it's like, yo, pussy. You're like, oh shit.
Fresh meat. Oh no.
Dude, the hounds just start jumping. It's like, and so support for support, trying to, maintain, some kind of semblance of normalcy here with this topic as we bash on, nonsensical communities. Support for support. What could that be misconstrued as? I think again, the idea of the follow for follow is where a lot of people's mind goes.
Yeah.
Or even some people who have demonized the idea of, lurking.
God, yeah.
Which is so silly to me, again, versus mass fake lurking.
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge difference. Right. If you're going to use things like bots to boost your viewership up to a fake temporary number, go for it.
Yeah,
it's not going to work. It's just somebody's making money off of you.
Exactly. Somebody's making money off of you and you're not making any money.
No,
bots don't sub, bots don't throw bits, bots don't throw donations,
and they don't have coherent conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop turning on their fucking talking.
God, that's the worst.
Stop it.
I've seen that a couple times, and it is.
I know you guys think it's gonna work. It's not gonna work. People hate, it's one of those things where it's like attacking someone's child. Like they just feel like you are disrespecting this craft so much.
Yeah, thinking that you can
literally find a better way to build up your self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna have a group of people that are just gonna dislike you and feel that you are untrustworthy.
That's the biggest part. Yeah.
They can't trust you now. So now once you've finally grown somewhat, for the people who are new that have not yet met you to know about trust or not trusting you, you've lost out on a lot of people.
Yeah.
Now maybe that doesn't matter to you because you love yourself. There's a big difference between loving yourself and taking advantage of others in an inflated scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
That might make people feel like, oh my gosh, this really large streamer is talking to me and making me feel special. Well, you're actually the only real person in the chat.
Yeah.
So they're actually very thankful for you being there, but they're going to talk to you like they are better than you.
Yeah.
And again,
it's always great.
I've seen it enough to be like, why is this the strategy for an up and coming streamer or wannabe streamer? Because you're not doing it with a passion.
Yeah.
Right. Like to me, to be a streamer, you're passionate. Now there's people who can stream and make damn good money who are not passionate about this at all.
Yeah. That is very, very true.
They are an entertainer at best.
Mm-hmm.
They are not a streamer. We've seen, thanks to the pandemic, numerous celebrities go on and try to stream, and they are not streamers.
They're
they
using
are extremely talented people.
Exactly. They're using their fame to their advantage in a
scenario
format.
like this. People are showing up, because they are, like you said, famous.
Yeah.
Famous, right? But they are not a streamer. You could tell by the way that they set things up, because that's not what they learn. Their craft is in what they create, be it emotions, be it action scenes, whatever, right? Singing,
yeah,
all these different things that they could do that they're so highly skilled at that I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool that you do that. It's just like you go and they're like, dude, like, where's your camera? Like it's looking straight up their nose. Like they're using like a camera phone, for their stream. It's like, dude, what do you? Oh.
Man,
come on, Lizzie McGuire. Come on.
There's a big difference between a lot of the other celebrities who came in, and then there's T-Pain who came out here and was like, "You motherfuckers, I'm gonna do this right."
Yeah, T-Pain. And and it just shows you how sometimes when you consume someone's content, you would not have thought them to be of a highly, not just intelligent, I'm looking for a different word here, just like
versatile,
so suave, so suave with their ability
Mm-hmm.
to adapt to the business culture, right? And so
Exactly.
someone
Yeah.
who's amazing at their craft for singing, rapping, whatever you'd like to, categorize it as, and yet understood how to create more value for his brand, he's also going to do streaming.
Yeah.
Once a week, I think is what it is.
I think is what he does. Yeah. I think he does once a week.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's a superstar. So if he misses one stream for that week, yeah, it's 2 weeks in between a stream, but he's able to do that. But he still knows how to, he has a regular schedule, so people know when to tune in, and therefore he's able to continue to grow his brand, especially under where people can feel like they get to know T-Pain. And that goes a long way. And that's why individuals, I feel, who've done a really good job, even though there's certain things I would have said that they could have done better, but I'm not them, so I don't know all the scenarios. So we're going to go ahead and go with the fact I don't know shit.
Yeah.
We're going to go with that. People like Ninja, right? They are a streamer who has now elevated themselves. Dr. Disrespect, right? A streamer who has also elevated themselves.
Correct.
So let alone do they stream that they have gone themselves into a position of being mainstream worthy.
Exactly.
Ninja is definitely mainstream now, but Dr. Disrespect is not quite mainstream for like what's considered just mainstream culture.
Yes.
But he's right about there because he's at one of the highest levels for streaming now, especially after his new reveal.
Yeah.
He's right. I mean, he's up there. They are elevating themselves past their streaming specific brand to another level. And that's why I bring up the whole T-Pain thing is smart enough to be able to spread himself out. He doesn't go too hard. So who doesn't like a lot of us streamers? We spread ourselves too thin.
Exactly. God,
remember how important
your
time is?
Yeah,
remember how
important very, very, very important.
Tell us some more. Why? What have you learned? You mentioned it for a second there. Sound like a little burnout. Like what else?
The burnout can be real, especially with stream. Like I always tell people when they start streaming and everything, if you don't have the right attitude going into it, 6 months to a year. Like that is the lifespan of a new streamer, especially in this day and age with. How you have to avoid, the follow for follows, the lurk for lurks, the support for support, like that sort of thing. Yes, the negative side of it.
Thank you. Yep.
Trying to navigate a landscape that is constantly getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, more competitive.
Exactly, and then trying to find some sort of way to make yourself stand out.
Well, one of the things was getting started.
Yeah.
Like literally even before, like even for us, it was still a dealio, right? But before that, think about the people who started in your 2012s, 2013s.
Oh man.
And then there was still us starting up in our 20, did you start 2014 or were you 2015 like I?
I think 2015.
Okay. So 2015, and that was still a big deal. But now all these different services offer broadcast software.
Yeah.
I mean, even Twitch has a basic one.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
the
weird.
old site that had it, you had no way of doing it unless you used a third party, program.
Mm-hmm.
And it was either XSplit at the time or it was going to be like original OBS.
Original, yeah, not Studio. Studio was
right.
Then.
So when people ask me nowadays, dude, Streamlabs, you stream elements, I'm like, what the?
Like,
I am not a noob, okay? I'm gonna around the block.
Like,
I use Spectrum.
Yeah, I didn't spend 3 years learning a program to go use a dumbed down version of the one that I use now.
And that's, again, it's part of how things have changed, right? Like you're getting at where it's so much more competitive now because now I'm not saying that people should have been limited by access to the platform, but you have to take that into consideration if you're starting a business.
Yeah.
Just why is your mother such a good business person?
Location.
So the location then dictates other avenues, right? It's going to dictate how many people possibly could show up, right? What type of activity do I need to worry about from, employee activity, from, people in the area activity, right? If you're located in downtown, that's usually a better thing. Some cities downtowns, though, have a lot of crime, too. All these other factors that you have to consider because of competition.
Yeah, that's huge. And, it was always funny because, our shop was located in downtown Hillsborough.
Cool. Cool. That's what I thought I remember.
Yeah, and it was always funny when a new shop came in on the strip or whatnot, and like my mom shopped the Artful Garden, which has been there for, upwards of 20, 30 years, something like that.
That's so cool. It's so cool. Props to her and
Yeah.
all you guys.
I mean, it's a struggle at times, but like,
I mean, welcome to.
well, yeah, exactly. Welcome to small business owning.
Where's my bailout? No,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No bailout. Oh, okay. But one of the biggest things is when a new shop or something gets in there, like they usually don't last because they try and go against the grain of everybody else because they see everybody as competition instead of if one business flourishes down there, everybody flourishes because it gets more foot traffic in. And that's the biggest thing.
All right. You are a genius because what's support for support to me? Those that I'm working with, those that I'm interacting or collabing with, I want them to do well.
Exactly.
I want to be involved in that. And not because them doing well means I'm going to get this mountain of cash. Right?
Yeah.
That's where a lot of people's brains automatically go. Just get your goddamn brain out of the goddamn gold vault, okay?
Seriously.
For a second here. Literally, by being around more and more good energy, you can create more and more things, okay? And that might be a safe environment for people to come and hang out and chat about anime. It might be creating a place where people can go ahead and ask fitness questions that have no freaking idea what you're about to say as an answer, but they still want to know. You know what? People were curious about Banjo-Kazooie 100% speedruns, and they want to know, why don't you grab the melon?
Yeah.
Isn't this 100%?
Yeah,
why don't you
get the Mumbo tokens?
That's what it was, the Mumbo.
Yeah, I was like, melons. There's no melons in there.
I was like, just roll with it. You'll crash and burn at some point. I always do. Mumbo tokens. But those kind of conversations, those things happen because those spaces are created. They're provided as part of the content, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
And I want those people to flourish more so I have more good energy to be a part of. Exactly, right?
Yeah.
I go to these places because I enjoy them. If I'm going to these places because I hate them, why do I hate myself again?
Yeah. Time to reevaluate.
My support scenarios are very good and healthy ones. Obviously, if I'm not being too overly optimistic on some people's, ability to be empathetic.
Yeah.
We've all learned that. We've all any of you out there at some point in time has probably invested in somebody who, didn't invest back, or even there was no, appreciation of said investment.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
And it's just unfortunate. We could go in all sorts of ways and, slam someone, but like realistically, it's just unfortunate. It's sad because like, why do you want to live a life where you're just trying to take advantage of people all the time?
It's like, and those people get found out eventually. Like
they always do,
you see it happen.
or they end themselves.
Yeah,
in some type of way. They either intentionally sabotage their career. They, do other terrible things. I don't know why you'd want to choose those paths. But it's going to happen some way, right? So either why they snapped or they did snap, and then you're like, man, why did that person go crazy?
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, well, okay, because they put themselves in a situation that they shouldn't have kept putting themselves in because it was a terrible situation.
Yeah.
And it was one that they actually had a decision, and sadly they kept making the wrong decision. And then who knows why? It could have been from the people that they were around all the time, whatever. But those things start to add up. And so if you are already rational enough to consider like, I don't know if I should, if you're already thinking you shouldn't do that because it's going to be a bad thing, you probably shouldn't do that because it's going to be a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean,
you already see it in the back of your head as a bad thing. You should go with your gut.
Then just don't do it. I am safe, Marley. I'm sorry. And I have missed out on opportunities by playing things safe. But guess what? I'm also alive doing this podcast right now.
Exactly. We're still here. And
because of that, I'm able to get support for someone like Flibbityflam, because you know why? I enjoy consuming his content. I will lurk his ass, and minus the for lurk, and I'll just lurk him.
Yeah,
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be just like those lurkers in StarCraft. I'm going to be burrowed underground. I'm just going to be watching you. Waiting for you to get that goddamn PB so I can pop on out and be like, ha!
Look at this, GG.
So, folks, do not fall for follow.
Do not ever.
Please. We care about you guys, even though we like to joke around about all the things. Do not do that. Okay?
Protect yourself.
Love yourselves. Protect yourselves. Think about the right things. that you know deep down are right. Flip, dude, I love chatting with you about this type of stuff. Man.
Yeah, this is great. I'm glad we went with one today because
yes,
there was a lot for that
it
one.
it was a lot to go on, right? Oh my goodness. You know what though, folks? We will have another one of those awesome episodes for you coming out soon. But this one, it feels just right.
Feels just right. All right, we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.